Hi, I'm Alicia and welcome to the Mintay Papers YouTube channel. Today I am making some cute little Christmas folios. To make one of these you need a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and I'm using the beautiful White Christmas collection. I'm also using the 27 paper elements by Mintay, and I'm using both of these products to create these gorgeous little folios. In the video I make 2 folios, and so I required 2 pieces of the 12 by 12 paper and 1 packet of the paper elements. So remove the little barcode strip from your 12 by 12 piece of paper, and we're going to cut at 7 inches horizontally across our page. So you'll have a 7-inch strip and you'll have a 5-inch strip. Take your scoreboard and we are going to score at 1 inch, 4.5 inches, 8 inches and 11 inches. So here we go, 1 inch, 4.5, 8 and 11, and we are going to repeat that on both of our pages. Our next step is to gently fold along those score lines. Now the hardest part for me was deciding which way my paper should go, because you need to decide what paper you would like on the inside of your folio and what paper you would like on the outside of your folio. And this actually took me quite a little bit of time to figure this out because I kept changing my mind. The larger 7-inch piece of the little folio will be on the inside of the folio, and the smaller piece will be wrapped around it. So it'll be the front and the back. So if that helps you make your mind up as to which way you want your papers to fold. Now you might find that when you've done your scoring, you just need to smooth the edges a bit of the piece that'll be wrapping around the front. Because we've scored exactly on the same lines, it'll be a little bit tight, so you just need to sort of smoosh that fold out just a fraction so that it can sit comfortably around the inner piece. After some umming and ahhing about which piece should face the inside and which piece should face the outside, I finally think that I've made my decision, and I'll show you the other one that I've already put together a little bit. This is basically what it's going to look like at the very beginning when we've glued it together. But you can see how I've managed to put the fold on one side and on the opening on the other, but it doesn't really matter which way you do it. So I've chosen to ink the edges of my folio because I think it looks really, really nice. It just adds that little extra touch and it gives it that vintage feel, and these papers have a lovely vintage feel to them. So I'm just going around and I'm inking all of those folds, and you can see how that adds to the feel of the folio. So you can use any ink pad for this. I'm using a chocolate brown ink to get that sort of rustic look. Now this is how it's going to look. See how I'm just smooshing the edges a little bit because of the folding? We'll open up the inner flap and we're going to put some glue on the back of this section here, but not the very top bit because we can use this back section as a pocket. So just a line down the side of the scoring line, across the bottom and up the other side, not along the top if you want to create a pocket at the back. And that's all it takes to just glue our folio together. It's a very, very simple project, but this project is going to be perfect for Christmas because we're going to be able to put lots of little bits of money inside or gift cards. So this is your perfect little gift card or money giving present at Christmas time. And I know lots of us like to give money at times to our older nieces and nephews, or older teenagers, because it's easier than buying a present. Now what I've done here is I've just glued that down, that little flap down at the top and at the bottom, and that becomes a little side pocket then, where we can slip some money in, or we can slip a tag in. And the same goes for these little pockets here. So just a little bit of glue at the bottom and the top, and then holding that down to dry, and then a bit on this side as well. So we've actually got 4 little side pockets in the flaps of our folio. And you can see how the different types of papers create a different look for the folio. So it does depend on which 12 by 12 you have chosen as to how your folio is going to look at the end. So just repeating the process on this folio, gluing at the top and the bottom, and then gluing at the top and the bottom on this one, on these 2 little front ones as well. Now this is quite an easy project, and it could be made in bulk for many people at Christmas time. Let's take a look at the elements we are going to be using. These are from Mintay's White Christmas collection, and every Mintay collection now has paper elements, and they are amazing to be used in the projects. So they have some little tags. I've got some little red and white twine that I thought might be nice around the tags to give it sort of that candy cane feel. They've also got these cute little envelopes, so you can fold up these paper elements and make your own little envelope, which would be perfect for my folio today. So I'm just looking at where would be a good spot to glue a little envelope inside the folio. And you can see in the paper elements there's some lovely scalloped circles which we use in our folio today. We actually use nearly every single paper element, to create these 2 folios. Now there is no right or wrong way to decorate your folio, and everybody's folio will look different. Because it's obviously up to you as to whether you use some tags, or whether you use an envelope, or whether you use a scalloped circle. I'm going to choose this cute little red and white candy cane envelope. I'm going to ink all of the edges of my envelope to give it that vintage look, and I'm going to glue it down onto this little flap here. Now what I did decide to do with all of my little envelopes in this project was I actually used some twine around the little envelope that I tied together to keep the envelope closed. So I'll show you how I did that. So all I did was cut a decent size of twine and then glue it underneath the actual envelope, so that then I could tie the envelope into a little bow, the twine into a little bow, and that would keep my envelope closed. Just make sure you get a big enough piece, because that first piece I found was just a little bit too small to tie a bow with. So you do want a nice, decent piece. of twine to make your bow. And of course you can always trim the edges if you need to. Alright, that's looking good. That's our little envelope. And then it's just continually decorating every little bit with the paper elements. Now don't forget that you can ink the edges of your paper elements as well, and this just gives that really pretty vintage feel to them. I decided it might be a nice idea to put an envelope right in the very middle of the folio, so when the person opens it up, they have a little envelope to open and find a treasure in there. I also worked on something sitting behind the envelope, like a tag, just to give a little bit more decoration to the inside of the folio. So just inking around the edges again of those little envelopes and all of the paper elements, gluing those little tabs down. And then I popped another paper element on top of that, on top of the envelope to just be a kind of seal for the envelope. I just put glue on one side though, and then I held it all together with the twine. Now you can always pop something in there, you know, like a little paper element or a gift card or some money. Now I thought it might be nice to add some pom-poms to the front edge of the folio to give it that snowy sort of feel. I do like pom-poms, and I don't use them very much, but I just find them, they give you just a cute little smile when you see pom-poms on a project. I'm also looking at how I can tie my folio up with some lace. So I'm going to use the same idea as I did for the envelope. I'm going to stick the lace behind a paper element and then glue that paper element onto the folio, and then that will secure my lace that I can then tie up into a bow. I like to secure the lace with some sticky tape, and this just makes sure that it's not going to slip out when I'm tying it up or untying it, because you do want that tie to be quite durable, and the sticky tape will just make sure that it's not going to be slipping out when you're using it. To cover up the sticky tape, I'm just going to glue this cute little scalloped circle on the front of my folio, and that will hide everything. And now we have a cute little lace tie that keeps our folio closed. So now I'd just like to take you through how the finished folios look. Two different ones. This one here, it's got the little pocket at the back. Now you could put a little tag in the back of that pocket if you wanted to. Both of them have a little pocket there at the back, so feel free to put something in there if you wish. So you just start by untying the piece of lace, and then you open up your folio. Now let's just pretend you wanted to put some money in on that side. You can slide that in there, On this one, it's got a little envelope right at the front, so you could put some money or a gift card in that little envelope there. And then you can tie that back up as many times as you need to. On the other side of the flap, you've got another little pocket there that you can pop something in. And then when you open up, you can put a full note in that side without having to bend it. And then you've got another little envelope in there which you can put gift cards or money. And then everything just ties back up. And then you can tie the lace back up as well. So that was the very first one, and this is the second one that I decorated. It's just very similar but a little bit different. So you've got your two pockets on those inside flaps, then you open up again and you've got the little envelope, and you've also got pockets underneath those tags there. So on either side you can hide money quite easily in that. So this would be a little bit like a little treasure chest for Christmas. You could put as much money or gift cards as you wanted into this and give it to somebody close to you. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you have found some inspiration to get creating for Christmas using Mintay's White Christmas collection, the 12 by 12 papers and the paper elements. Thank you so much for watching the Mintay YouTube channel. Make sure you are subscribed and have a lovely crafty day.